Our members and those we have joined with today are hardworking individuals who need their jobs to sustain themselves in a very difficult economic climate. They depend on their paychecks at Finger Lakes, and they face a very...
So really I'm here today to make sure that we're protecting jobs in Oneida County, but also across upstate New York. And I think if you look at the intention of the casino legislation, the idea behind it was to create new jobs, not to shift jobs from one community to another. And what's happening under this Lago proposal is you're going to see jobs from Oneida County, from Genesee County, from the Finger Lakes region shifted to this new casino because it's going to cannibalize the existing gaming facilities that are already in upstate New York. And that's not the original intent of this legislation.
Now, the Gaming Commission has not indicated whatsoever that they're going to take another look at this?
They have not, but that's what we're trying to urge them to do, is to take another look at this, to go back to the original intent of the legislation, which is to create new jobs for New York State, new revenue from New York State, not shifting jobs from one community to another. You know, I've seen all kinds of interesting card tricks in my lifetime, but shifting a few thousand jobs from one community to another community simply sounds like a disappearing act to me instead of economic development.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Bill Guglielmo. I'm president of the Rome Chamber of Commerce. I've lived in Rome all my life, since 1949, and have been associated with the Rome Chamber of Commerce as an employee since 1973, and certainly have seen a lot of changes in our community. The position of the Rome Area Chamber of Commerce is the same as it was last year at this time, when we said that the establishment of a casino in Seneca County would not be a case of friendly competition. It would be a direct and a deliberate drain on a struggling economy less than an hour down the road. Economic development efforts should diversify and strengthen upstate New York, not pit one region against another. Growth in one region should not be at the expense of another, and should not tear apart success that has been achieved by neighboring communities. 14% of Turning Stone's 4,500 employees live in Rome. That translates to more than 600 Rome residents who spend their paychecks at local businesses, support nonprofits, and support the tax structure that keeps city operations viable. Fewer visitors to local gaming attractions will have a negative ripple effect on the local economy, local employers, and residents. Layoffs will mean less money to spend, spiraling down into unemployment in all sectors. Possible reduction in population and increased taxes to keep Rome on life support. Investments and employment growth at Turning Stone have increased jobs, attractions, and subsequent tourism dollars, and helped the region recover after the devastating blow to population and economy with the closure of Griffiths Air Force Base in Rome in 1995. Rome's 72 square miles land area didn't change, but our population dropped from 50,000 to 32,000. We need to continue the recent trend of stabilizing the economy and moving toward growth after decades of attempted recovery. The hospitality, entertainment, and service industry sectors provide critical, stable employment for a great number of our residents. The Board of Directors of the Rome Area Chamber of Commerce is calling on the Gaming Commission to reject plans for a casino in Seneca County and urges thoughtful strategic planning for future gaming development that benefits all of New York State's regions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. You have now heard from several people today, employees of two different facilities, union representatives, elected officials, chamber presidents of areas with existing facilities, different walks of life, different stakes in the outcome of this decision, but all facing the same harsh reality. Licensure of the Lago Casino would be a devastating blow to our communities. Think about these numbers and facts. First off, just between Finger Lakes and Turning Stone alone, this decision could negatively impact over 8,000 jobs, some direct, some indirect. Many of these jobs will simply shift to a neighboring county. Independent studies have estimated that Lago will simply cannibalize revenues from existing facilities. An independent study not associated with Finger Lakes estimated Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack alone loses 50% of its revenue that would call its continued existence into question. By Lago's own estimates, as I mentioned, 50% of its revenue comes from existing facilities. Other studies have it as high as 67%. Consider that 87% of Lago's annual visits are projected to be generated by residents within 91 minutes of that facility. That essentially encompasses the primary markets of the existing facilities that we spoke of. Video lottery facilities such as Finger Lakes, Vernon Downs, and Batavia Downs pay between 75 and 79% of every gaming dollar earned in gaming revenue in mandated payments primarily to the state. Lago would only be required to pay 37% on slot machine revenue and 10% on table games. Meaning that every dollar shifted from those facilities to Lago, New York State loses revenue on. The horse racing industry in upstate New York would be in jeopardy of collapsing due to severe injury to business at Finger Lakes, and this industry can't be shifted anywhere else. Finger Lakes alone generates a local economic impact of over $80 million through its racing operations. Without Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, that disappears. The location board vowed to avoid cannibalization of its existing gaming locations and other businesses in its decision. It ruled out casinos in Orange County on that premise. There is no justification for choosing Lago Casino. Licensure of the Lago Casino will fail to create any new jobs other than those that are shifted and will create little to no new tax revenue for the state. It will simply transfer jobs and dollars from surrounding counties to Seneca County. Lost revenue, lost businesses, lost industries, lost jobs. It doesn't add up to a win for New York in any way, shape, or form. This is not revitalization. This is moving money and jobs around to tell a story, and it's not the economic growth mandated by the enabling legislation. It's a losing bet and one that shouldn't be made. The good news is something can be done. The New York State Gaming Commission has the ability and obligation to get this right. As per the original legislation, they are not just a rubber stamp of the location board's recommendations. Rather, they are charged with doing an independent review of the recommendations set forth and having the final determination on licensing. We stand here today together to ask the Gaming Commission to get this right. Please protect our jobs, our communities, and our livelihood. Say no to the Lago Casino. Thank you.